Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we are going to see how to work with Python programming. So let's get started. So first we'll be using, for reference, we'll be using a website called Funda of Web IT. So we'll take the reference from there and go to Python. I give this link in the description so you can just refer from there. So Python is a programming language and it can be used for creating web applications by the help of frameworks like Django and Flask. It is mainly used for machine learning and data science and all, as it is very compatible with all those things. So let's get started with the syntax. So here you don't have much syntax, it's a very simple thing. I just show you in a demo. So just open a folder, create a file. Let's keep it short. So let's give it try.py. Save it with the extension of .py. So here let me open the terminal. So once the terminal is open here, you can just give print and within double quotes give hello world. So this is your hello world in Python. It's this simple. So now let us execute. To run this program you just have to give python, or you can write in short py, your file name with the extension try.py. So let us hit enter and see your hello world is executed here. So hello world in program in Python, it's very simple, just one line, print and your this thing. So let us go to the website and see the next thing. So here you have if conditions, we'll be seeing it in later here. We'll just see it now itself. Yeah, so here you have a colon thing extra, like in other languages we don't have. So let us do it here. If, let us give 5 is greater than 10, and don't forget the colon here, write print in double quotes, give true, or will give else. And guys, there is no bracket here in Python, it's all the indentation, the space you give matters most here. So else give print within double quotes give false. So let us check the output for this now. There is an error here because we didn't give colon over here. So in Python, for every statement, for loop or everything, we have colon here. So let us try it now. So it's false because 5 is less than 10, so it will go to the else part. So now let us go to the website and see the next things, whatever is there here. And here number of space inside a block should be the same. So this means once you give here, let's copy paste this false 2, I'll paste here. And now if I give one space less over here, it will give an error, because in Python the space matters most. Inside one block there should be equal number of spaces for each line. So now let us execute the program. See, unindent does not match any outer indentation level. So make sure inside a block you put the same number of spaces. So now let me run the program and show you. So you see you got your output correctly. So we'll see what is next here. Okay, so comments in Python is very simple. You can use the hash symbol for writing a comment. So as you can see here, I'll just show you the same demo here. Comments are actually written to remember what was the purpose of writing the code, like this is a hello world program. So next time you come and read this, you will understand why you had written this code. So now this will not be the part of execution in the program. So when you execute the program, first it will print hello world. Due to this comment here with this hash, this line will be ignored by the compiler. So you write comments for other developers to understand your code or for future reference. So this is the use of comment. So you can use multi-line comments also. Just give this, or just write hello and give another word here. So you can write multi-line comments also. So now let's see what is next. So see, after a sentence also you can give your comment line over here after one statement. So there are various things, I'll give the link in the description, you can go and refer here. So now let's see variables in Python. So rules for naming a variables, it's like similar like other languages. So variable name can be alphanumeric combination. Variable name should not contain any special character except underscore. variable names should always start with alphabets, and variable names are case sensitive here. So here you can use any combination of alphabets and numericals, but not the numbers in the beginning. So here, see, these are the legal and correct variables. So you can give anything here, you can use underscore, but not space, hyphen or number in the beginning. So here when you create a variable in Python, you don't have to give a data type like other languages. Most of the languages ask for data type. So here if I give a equals to 5, and there is no semicolon here, main point in Python, and b equals to, give a string called Sharma. So now a is the type, a variable is a data type of integer, and b is a data type of string. So how do you find that is, you have a inbuilt function in Python. Let us remove this and give print, and within the bracket give the type function, type of a, and copy and paste the same thing and give for b. Okay, so now let us execute it. So you can see the type of a is integer and the data type of b is string here. So for anything like for list or set or tuples, you can just get it from the type variable, type function. If you give the variable name inside it, it will give you the data type of that. So let us see what is next now. So next, print in Python. Okay, so print statement is used for giving the output. We have already seen this, it is simple. So now here it is in print, it will take the control to the next line. I'll just show you what is this. So let us go here and remove all this. So we'll just copy the array from there itself, copy this, copy and paste it. So now let us use a for loop here. So for loop we haven't studied, so let us study the for loop, then we'll come back to this string so that you understand very easily. So go next and you'll see Python data types. So here we have basic data types like for numerical, int, float and complex. So complex is, we'll just sit down, it will be with numbers and alphabets will be combined here. For storing string we have string, for boolean values we have bool. So here you can get the data type of any variable by using the type function. We just saw this, so let's go next. Okay, so here it is the for loop. So here in Python the for loop can be used only on array variables. In other programming languages we use for loop to iterate a number of times. Like we give until the condition is 10, it has reached 10 from 0, it has to iterate. But in this it is like iterating each values in an array. So I'll just show you here. So the syntax is give for your variable name, just create a normal variable in array name and then print this one. So we'll see here this one, copy it and paste. So here a clothes is a variable name and we are storing it, we are storing various data in the array. So shirt, pant and t-shirt. So now to remove this data we'll just use for, we'll write data, for data in clothes. Clothes is our array variable. So don't forget the colon here, give print data, your variable name here. So now let us run the program. So you get it over here, shirt, pant and t-shirt. So here we have not given any statement like /n or something to print it in the next line. It is automatically printing it in the next line. So what if I want to print the whole thing in the same line? So we'll see a solution for that also. So here, okay, so in print we had, right? Let us go back to print now. So here it will automatically take it to the next line. So how to print the values on the same line? We can print it by using a end thing called inside the print statement. Give end equals to your variable name. So by giving this end equals to x here, we have given data, it will print it in the same line. So let us give a demo for that also. So we'll give print end equal to data. So now let us run the function, run the code. So you see shirt, pant and t-shirt. If you want to give space, let us try the /t thing here, /t, if this works. Oops, invalid syntax. I think you have to use the plus operator here to concatenate. Okay, so it worked here, see. So you have shirt and one tab space, pant and one t-shirt. Okay, so now we'll see what is next here. So we finished till the for here. So let us go to the while loop. So the while loop is like it's the same like in the other programming languages. It iterates a block of code continuously until the given condition becomes false. So the syntax is where and the condition in the bracket colon, and then next give some space and write your code there. So here is an example. You have declared a variable called I and you have assigned the value 0. So until it is reached 10 we have to print it and increment the value. So in what is it in this Python, you don't have the plus plus operator. I'll just show you. I'll remove this and we'll also give the same variable I equal to 0 while I is less than 10. So give colon, give colon and print I. And now if you forget to give the increment operator for that variable, it will become an infinite loop and print it continuously. There's no end for that. So here we'll give I plus plus. This is an error in this Python. In other programming language it supports. So you can use your I plus equal to 1, or you can just give I equals to I plus 1. So this is old way of doing. The modern and better way of doing is I plus equals to 1. This is more efficient. So now let us run the program and see. It will print 0 to 9 here. So yes guys, I'll just reuse this and see. So from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 9 it has printed successfully. So now let us see what is next. Always write the increment or decrement statement inside the while loop. If not given, it will become an infinite loop. So here it is mentioned here I plus plus and I minus is not supported. Instead use it I plus equal to 1. So next we'll see what is there. So list. So list in Python is nothing but it's just like arrays to store the multiple data in a single variable, but there is difference in this from array. So here there are some conditions here. Yeah, here it is. Lists are similar to array, but it also has the index position, and it's almost similar to array. When you add a new value, it will go and get inserted in the last value. So n plus 1th index. So if you have 0 to 4 index value, if you have inserted 5 data, so if you insert a new one, it will go to 4 plus 1, 5th index value, it will go and insert. So list can consider same value more than once. So duplication is allowed here. List can be altered after creating. So this is you can change it even after creation. You can edit and delete data from that. So it is simple. Just give a variable name, your list variable name, and you can pass your data inside it. So let us see what is next here. And this is tuples in Python. Tuple or tuple, whatever is comfortable for you. So tuples are similar, it's just same, but there are minor differences in between. So this is not using square bracket, this we use a regular bracket or circle brackets. So it is the same, it will print the data like this itself. We'll just see a demo if it's working or no. Let us paste it and run this. So you see Honda of Web IT, we got the website name here. I mean they have passed this thing here as the data in this, so we are getting it. But what is the difference in this is, we'll just see down. This type thing we had already seen that it is a tuple. So here tuples are stored in an ordered manner. They also are similar, like having index number, can store same data value item more than once. So here also duplication is allowed. You can write the same data twice in that or more than twice. So but tuples cannot be changed once they are created. No operations such as insert or delete can be performed on the tuples. So here once we create, we cannot remove or add any items in this. So let's see what is next here. Okay, so it sets here. So let's go and sets in Python. Sets are used to store multiple data in single, but it's not like list or tuple or an array. So there is something different here. The main primary difference is in set is the data or items are not in an ordered or sorted order. The data will change its order every time you refresh the page. So in this it will change its order. So as sets are unordered, so it's obvious they won't have index values for them. So in array or anything, if you want to access this, if you give funda set of 0, if you give, you will get this value. But in this sets, you don't have any index value. They are without any order, so they get jumbled every time you run the program. So let us try this. So we'll also create the same thing. We'll give a set name as set. It's an inbuilt thing, so let's give Sharma set equal to, how it was in a flower bracket. So in this you have to give a within double quotes, so open flower braces and give in double quotes. Let us give Sharma and comma coder, and let us give funda. Okay, so 3 items. Now let us use the for loop for x in Sharma set colon print the x value. So now let us see, reload the page, run the program. You see coder funda Sharma, got this as first, this second, and this is the third. So when you run once again, you see funda coder Sharma, so you get the opposite. So in this set we get to know that there is no order, there is no index value. Every time it gets up and down, it will shuffle every time you run the program. Okay, anything else extra here? So you studied already that it's not an order, so even their order is changed here. So let us go to next. And what is there in next? User input. So taking input from the user during runtime is known as taking user input. So here what we mean by user input is, when we run the program here, so it is running, finish the program and coming out of it. So I want to print here, one second, we'll remove this and we'll remove this also. So I want to print a variable called user input, which the user will give input when he is running the program. During runtime I want to give the input. So for this, create a variable user input. To make it clear, let's give underscore in between. User input equal to, give input function here. So input, and now print that. So we'll give here, run the code, see it is now, okay, there's some problem. Okay, we change the variable name, so we have to give the same variable name to print also. So now when we run the program, there's nothing happening here. Basically it is waiting for the user input here. So if I type 4 and press enter, the output I get 4, so it is printing this. So I want the machine to prompt me that it is waiting for me to use, to give the input. So we can pass a message over here, enter the value. Let's give enter the value. So now when you run the program again, it will say enter the value and it will wait for the user. So let me press 8. So now if I press enter, it will show the message called 8 here. So this is user input. So this was the basic things in Python you need to learn for programming, basic things. So in next video we'll see how to start program in Python. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching once again.